nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me, and what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour, take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder. And f*** all the doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all wanna ring, yeah, we all wanna be free. So show me what you got, what you bring, how you fight in the ring, how you take a fucking swing. Do you got heart, are you mean? Got some scars, got some needs, are you willing to go bleed? I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
Cleaned, shaven since Friday. That's right, guys. I am in the process of growing my playoff beard for the next, hopefully, 2 months. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Now we play for real as the Stanley Cup playoffs have officially taken place and is underway. Pumped, absolutely pumped about this. I always get pumped in the springtime. It's the best time of the year, man. At least for us in Canada, it is, because we're finally getting some warm weather, you know. Just a lot of good things about springtime. It's outdoor activities, everything. And then, of course, they play for real, the Stanley Cup playoffs. So it is officially underway. However, the Edmonton Oilers don't play until tomorrow night. So I'm going to do a recap on that. I got a lot to talk about on this episode, so I will not do a recap of the Colorado Avalanche game. I was debating doing the Arizona game. However, because it was their last ever game as an organization, I will do a recap on that. But I do have a lot to cover. We're going to do the rig report. And unfortunately, me and Sammy couldn't get together to do an episode of NHL Aftermath, but I got his picks. And we will do his picks. As far as Sportsnet goes with their pool, it doesn't appear to be happening. So I got the NHL Bracket Challenge up on our end. If you guys want to join in, there'll be details on that. And then I got a pretty detailed Oiler and Kings preview that is going on, as this is the third year in a row that the Edmonton Oilers meet the Los Angeles Kings. However, under very, very different circumstances, as Jay Woodcroft is no longer coaching and Todd McClellan isn't coaching. So it's a very different dynamic. So let's get into this, guys. Let's get into the last dance in the desert. Which it's unfortunate, like I was actually, a part of me, as much as I wanted to see this team move on from all the stuff that they had to deal with, from not paying their bills to not getting arenas to this and that, it was still sad for me. And I think I was more saddened for the fan base, because I know me as a loyal Edmonton Oiler fan, there was 2 occasions that we were potentially going to lose the Edmonton Oilers. And one of those occasions was during the SOS era, where a group of, I believe it was 10 businessmen, including one of the gentlemen that I knew, Ron Hodson, Pontiac Buick GMC, bought into it, chipped in, saved the team, and then eventually sold it on to Daryl Cates. That was the first one. That was the SOS era, Save the Oilers Save. And then if this arena deal that happened back in 2015, 2014, I think it was, Daryl Cates was in City Hall pleading his case on how important it is to do this, to rejuvenate the Edmonton downtown core, which was the right decision. It was good that then Stephen Mandel, the mayor of Edmonton, saw his vision and went with it. But that was another time. And because if that arena didn't get built and they were still playing out in Northlands, who knows if the Oilers would still stay. And the Edmonton Oilers, of course, legendary. We don't want to see them leave. I hope it never does happen. But anyway, let's get into the last dance in Arizona, which, again, I was quite saddened by it. Because this is a special occasion, I took various pictures from the game. This isn't just a same picture for the scoring summary and same picture for the all the stats. This is going to be a little bit of everything throughout that game. So I hope you enjoy this, as the Coyotes defeated the Edmonton Oilers in their final game as an organization, and now move on to Utah, Salt Lake City in Utah. But I don't know if the Oilers just end up throwing them a bone a little bit and didn't play really to their true abilities. They really had nothing to win or nothing to lose at this point in time. Same with the Colorado game. There's nothing to win, nothing to lose. And they couldn't go up in the standings. They knew who they were facing. So maybe they did kind of throw them a bone. I don't know. I think they did play hard. But yeah, it is kind of sad to see the Arizona Coyotes moving on. Anyway, I got lots to cover, so I better move on here. So it started off in the first period with Liam O'Brien scoring his fifth. Assists were UC Valimaki and Michael Kesselring. Michael Kesselring used to be an Edmonton Oiler, by the way. He was one of the picks, I think. It might have been one of the guys going back for, who would that have been? Oh, I can't even remember now. But anyway, go on to the next one. As Sam Carrick would tie this game at 13:06 from Matthias Ekholm. What a year he's having. And Evan Bouchard. 1-1 in the first period. We would go to the second period where Matthias McAnally would score from Jack McBain and Aku Radi. 2-1 Coyotes at this point in time. The Coyotes, I believe, would make it, 3-1 when Lawson Krause would get his 23rd from Vladislav Kolyanchuk and Dylan Gauthier. And that would be a 3-1 game for the Coyotes. Oilers would close within one, I believe, on this one when Warren Foegele would get his 20th of the year. He's actually having a pretty good year, and I think he's up for a contract, so that's going to be an interesting one as well. Assist from Philip Broberg. Now, when it comes to Philip Broberg, I was not very impressed with the two games that he ended up playing. He looked like a pylon. He looked like a pylon at best, and I don't know if it's a mental thing. I don't know if he can wrap his head around the NHL level game because he didn't look very good as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what you guys thought, but I don't think he looked very good. And then again in the third period, it would be Ethan Gunthier on the power play from Clayton Keller and Alex Kerfoot at 14:27. We got a 4-2 game for the Coyotes. And the Coyotes would close this out 5-2 with Sean Durzi, empty net, unassisted. Boy, don't you think LA wishes they had Sean Durzi in the lineup going into this series against Edmonton, because he was an effective player last year. I do remember his name was quite prominent in those games. And there you have it. The last and final game in the desert, quite possibly. They do have 5 years to get their crap together and potentially return to the desert. They also obtain the rights and branding of the Coyotes name and all that. So one thing we know, the new Utah team will not be called the Coyotes. It will be a fresh name, which is good. I don't like it when a team moves across and keeps the same name. That name belongs to that area. So if the Oilers ever moved, I really hope that whatever team, if it ever unfortunately happens, does not take on the Oilers as a nickname. And there you have it. That's the last one in Arizona. It kind of reminded me of when Winnipeg left to Arizona. I had a kind of a saddened feeling, even though it's nothing to do with my team at all. But I understand how fan bases can be a little upset about it. So, yeah. Okay, so as far as the statistical breakdown goes in this game, we're going to go with the shots on goal. It was 30-24 for the Edmonton Oilers. Again, I don't think the Oilers were playing with maximum effort. Coyotes out-hit the Oilers 21-18. Face-off win percentage went to the Oilers at 61.7%. It's too bad Nick Bjugstad wasn't playing in this game, as he is still dealing with an injury. It would have been nice to see the Edmonton Oilers' former playoff player that we got last year for the playoffs in the Arizona lineup in the final game, but unfortunately he was still dealing with an injury. Oilers were 0-for-2 on the power play, means they got 0%. Penalty kill 1-for-2, 50%. Take it for what it's worth. Block shots. Coyotes outblocked the Oilers 16-8. However, when it came down, if you break down the statistical breakdown compared to the amount of shots, they blocked 53%, and the Oilers blocked only 33% of the shots. So that tells you realistically who won the shot blocking race in that area. And unfortunately, so long, Arizona. We hope to see the Kachina back. That is one of the most interesting logos that I have witnessed in probably professional sport history. And it kind of grew on me. I hated it at first, but it did kind of grow on me. And I hope that logo is going to be back once again in Arizona. I do hope Arizona does get a team back. I also hope Quebec finally gets a shot at having another team. I hope Gary Bettman realizes that, you know what? The heart of hockey is in the north in Canada, and that's where really it exists. And it'd be nice to see some Montreal, Quebec, Nordique matches again. But that's up to the commissioner to make those decisions. I'm going to give the third star on this one to Brett Kulak. He did have 5 hits in that game. Again, there wasn't really much that stood out in this game for the Edmonton Oilers, so I kind of have to go with, at least if you're getting 5 hits, you're doing a good job at defending. So that's kind of my theory. If the score is kind of low, at least you did your part in defending. And so Brett Kulak would get my third star on this one. Oops, I just went through the second star. Let me see if I can click it back. 1 second here. Anyway, hang on 1 second. Okay, so my second star, there we go. My second star was Sam Carrick, who had 1 goal in this game. Again, nothing to write home about. But these are the best Oilers that I can think of. And my first star is Warren Foegele with 1 goal, 1 hit. So there you have it, guys. Next up, it's the LA Kings, the season finale with the Colorado Avalanche, which I'm not going to do the scoring summary on or do the statistical report, was a 5-0 win by the Avs. In that game, and the reason why I don't really want to do the statistical report and all that kind of stuff is you had about 7 or 8 key players not playing. You had Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Zach Hyman, Evander Kane, Bouchard, Ekholm. All those guys were not in this game. So it felt more like a preseason game. And I was like, what's the point of doing it? Because I do have a crazy schedule going on for this particular episode. And it's probably going to carry into a 45-minute episode. But I'll try to make it as short as possible. Okay. So that's that. Arizona is done. They are no longer a franchise in the state of Arizona. From being the Phoenix Coyotes to the Arizona Coyotes to not being a team at all and to being what I'm hoping. I love the name, the Utah Yeti. I don't know. There's something to that. I am drawn to that. I hope they pick that, but there's a lot of different options that they are. And then there's the Storm and Mormons and stuff like that. I think those are goofy names. I don't think they'll call themselves that. I think that's all for joke. So this is the final rig report for the season. And the Oilers kind of slipped a little bit in the 15 days, or what was it? 20 days. Sorry, 20 days that they played in the month of April. However, I'm not too overly concerned because a couple of those games, well, there was a few of those games that didn't have McDavid because he was out nursing a bit of an injury. And then the last game, pretty much all the key players were out for it. So let's dive into this. Let's go into the rig report. Okay, so this is the rig report for April 2024. Those of you who are new to this rig report, I'll explain kind of roughly how I assess the grades. I take a Excel spreadsheet and I rank where they ranked in the league. So, for example, if you're an A plus, you have to be first or second in the league. If you're an A, you're like third, fourth, fifth, and A minus is like six, seven, eight. Then it goes all the way down until you're on the very last one. And I think the last two is considered a fail. So if you're 31 or 32, you are a fail. Let's get into this. As the Edmonton Oilers, as far as point percentage, were A minus last month. This month, they slipped a little bit to a B. So they didn't do as good as far as winning the games. Again, this you kind of have to take with a grain of salt because there was injuries to McDavid. And that I think those last two games were just kind of like, whatever. They already had their spot clinched and they didn't really care. So again, you take it with a grain of salt. Okay, so when it came to shots for last month, they were an A, which means they would have been third, fourth, or fifth in the league. I don't know exactly where they were. I don't have that spreadsheet up right now. This month, they were an A plus. And I do believe they were number one in the league for shots on this stat. I remember looking at that and saying, oh, number one in the league. So that gives them the A plus. Shots against last month, they were a B minus. This month, they are a D plus. So they slipped again on this one, as the defending had kind of fallen back. Now, wrong timing to have the defense starting to fall back. We're going to need the offense firing on all and the defense defending as best as possible, and our goaltending being lights out if we want to get to the big prize. Power play, A minus last month, went to a D minus. So it really, really did not do very good in the month of April. I don't know what to say, guys. Like, this is a team that had the best power play, rewrote the NHL record book last year with power plays. And then this year, they've just really fallen off. However, their penalty kill this year is much improved, which is a good thing. And again, a lot of it boils down to having a new coach. Okay, so penalty kill. Last month, they got a B. This month, B minus. So slightly a little bit worse, but I'm not too overly concerned. The penalty kill is doing really well for the Oilers, and that's what we're going to need. Well, actually, you know what? You don't really need that so much in the playoffs because a lot of times the referees put the whistles in the pocket. And then it's the ones that they call that we end up crying and complaining and getting all frustrated. And what the hell? How did that happen? Goals for, they were an A plus last month. This month, A minus. Slight depreciation, not too overly concerned. Goals against last month, B plus. This month, they are a D minus. Save percentage, a D last month. This month, they are a C minus. So there's a little bit of an increase between the tandem of Stuart Skinner and I can't think of his name right now. Anyway, Stuart Skinner and company, we'll say. I can't think of his name right now. It's on the spot, but yeah. Okay, face-off percentage last month was an A. This month is an A plus. So they really, really dialed it in on the dot in the month of April. My overall grade last month was an A minus. They did fall back a little bit. Again, for me to give them the B minus grade, it's definitely the Oilers took a huge hit on some of this because it's only half a month. So that adds to it. And some key players like Connor McDavid being out, he probably missed 4 games maybe. If if you include the Colorado game, and then the games that he was dealing with a bit of an injury. So I don't really take this too concerning. I do take the defending slipping a little concerning, and this is not the time that you need them to take a slide. But I think they're geared up. I think they're ready. I'm geared up, so I hope they're amped up for the playoffs. And there you have it. That is the final rig report of the 2023-24 NHL season. And I will do this once again next year. Okay, guys. So like I said, this was going to be a long episode. Let's dive right into Sammy's bracket or the NHL bracket challenge that I have going. Plus, I'm going to give you a final standings, and then we're going to get into Sammy's picks here. Again, this is a little bit of a longer episode, so let's dive into this right now as we start off with the final standings. As the Dallas Stars, as far as the Western Conference goes, won the Western Conference. We know the New York Rangers won the President's Trophy for having the most points, but the Dallas Stars won the West, and then the Winnipeg Jets had second place. They actually will have home ice advantage should they meet the Vancouver Canucks in the playoffs, as they edged them out by 1 point. So two Central Division teams are the 1-2, and then of course Vancouver is 109 points, Edmonton with 104 points. But Vancouver will take on Nashville. I think it should be an easy series for the Vancouver Canucks. The series that I think is going to be the best out of this year's playoffs for this round is definitely Dallas versus Vegas. I think that is going to be a killer series, one of those series that I definitely want to watch. And knowing that one of those teams is going to be out after 2 weeks is also a good note to have. Okay. So I did everything hoping that Sportsnet was going to do their hockey pool this year. They did not. So I had to kind of change it up. So I am doing the NHL bracket challenge this year. You're more than welcome to join my group. My group name is Lubed. The password is Lenny. All capital letters, so that makes it easy. Scan that QR code and you can come into my group. I really would love to see you guys in there. And it's just for bragging rights. I'm not going to give out no prizes. I can't afford to give out prizes, but just for bragging rights, it's a fun thing to do. I'm encouraging all my workmates at work to do it. And I already got my graph in there. So yeah, definitely join in. It will be fun for everyone. Again, Sportsnet isn't doing the traditional pool where you get allotted a certain amount of coins, like 30 coins, and you can buy this player for 4 points and buy this player for 2 points like they did, and then you can change it, which sucks because they did an excellent job at it, but I haven't seen it, and it's unfortunate. So yeah, I will be doing the bracket challenge this year. Hopefully next year we can do more of a playoff pool, but this year it's going to be that. Okay, it's time to bring in Sammy. Now, unfortunately, we couldn't do NHL Aftermath this particular time just due to too many things going on. I'm trying to get a deck belt over in my backyard here, so I got that running around. I'm still dealing with my mother, who is in assisted living. And then, of course, I work my job and have to maintain my place and clean. So there's just a lot going on. And I know everyone's got the same deal. Everyone's got their own issues. But unfortunately, I had to kibosh NHL Aftermath. We were going to do a playoff preview. So I was able to get Sammy to text me in who he likes and his predictions. And he's also, I believe, in my bracket right now. And let's go with who Sammy thinks. So the New York Rangers versus the Washington Capitals. Sammy predicts the Rangers in 5. Who did I have for my first round? I agreed. I picked the Rangers in 5 as well. We go on to the next series, which is the New York Islanders and the Carolina Hurricanes. Sammy predicts Carolina Hurricanes in 5. I got the Canes in 6 on this one. So one game a little bit more. I just I like the fact that Patrick Waugh is coaching the Islanders. I think it's going to be a little bit more of a fight for the Canes. And the Canes last year didn't look all that impressive to the Panthers. So, yeah, I'm going to give the Islanders a little bit more benefit of the doubt. Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Florida Panthers. We had that game earlier today as the Florida Panthers did take a 1-0 lead in that series. I actually got the Lightning in 7. So I'm already off to a bit of a bad start here. Well, I don't know if bad start. I mean, I got them in 7. It's going to go the distance. But yeah, Sammy predicts this one to go 7 games as well. When it comes to the Boston Bruins, Toronto Maple Leafs, after what I saw yesterday in that game, I really wish I would have changed it to maybe Boston in 5. I got Boston in 6. Sammy has the Leafs in 7. I don't know, man. That game was so owned by the Bruins yesterday in every aspect and facet of the game. I text them. I'm like, there's no chance. Now, things are going to change, obviously, but Toronto looked awful against the Bruins. Let's be honest. Like, that was brutal. Okay, let's go on to the Dallas Stars and the Vegas Golden Knights. This is going to be a hell of a series, and I'm probably going to tune into this series. I'm obviously going to tune into a lot of the series. Dallas in 6 is what I got. Sammy picks Dallas in 6. He agrees with me. Right on. Way to go, Sammy. You're starting to learn a little bit. I'm just kidding. Excuse me. No, Sammy actually is quite knowledgeable at hockey, and that's why I like having him on NHL Aftermath. Okay. Colorado Avalanche, Winnipeg Jets, which is underway right now as we speak. Sammy predicts the Jets in 7. I got the Jets in. Where do I got the Jets? I got the Jets in 6 on this one. I really like what they got. I really think this is a goaltender war. This is going to be Hellebuck versus Aiden Hill all the way. And we saw what Aiden Hill did last year in the playoffs. It could go Vegas, or it could go, did I say Aiden Hill? Sorry, not Aiden Hill. I'm totally off beat there. Aiden Hill's not even in this series. So no, I think now that I rethink that, I think Winnipeg should be able to win it for the fact that they have Hellebuck. Sorry guys. Vegas is playing Dallas. That's going to be a goaltender duel. When you got Aiden Hill versus Jake Ozinger, that's going to be a goaltender duel. But I still like Dallas's chances in that because Dallas really, really schooled the Oilers a couple weeks back. Okay, Nashville Predators versus the Vancouver Canucks. Sammy is a huge Vancouver Canucks fan, so I kind of know where this is leading to as he takes the Canucks in 6. I actually think the Canucks are going to sweep the Predators. I think this is going to go 4 games. I don't see Nashville having enough punch to win a single game in this series. So that's my thoughts. Okay, Sammy predicts the Los Angeles Kings, Edmonton Oilers, and he predicts the Oilers in 7. I think the Oilers will win this series in 6, personally. Could be 5 even. I mean, the changes that the Los Angeles Kings made in the offseason, losing Dursey and just some of the changes they made, I just don't think it's favorable to them. But then again, it's different coaching. It's going to be interesting because we're not seeing the Jay Woodcroft, McClellan era of coaching anymore. This is a totally different. These are going to be two totally different games. So it's going to be very interesting. And that wraps that up. How far? See, I'm already 35 minutes into it, and I still got lots to talk about. I told you this was going to be a long episode, guys. As we dive into the Los Angeles Kings preview versus the Edmonton Oilers. Edmonton Oilers have owned them in the last couple series. And I think we're probably in for kind of similar, the same result. As the Kings and Oilers set to take place tomorrow night. I'll be tuned in very well. Unfortunately, guys, when it comes to like tomorrow night, I actually am off Tuesday because I have to take my mother to doctor's appointments. So I will stay up for the whole game if it goes into overtime. But unfortunately, because I work so early in the morning, again, I cannot stay up for overtimes. I'll catch the results later. The only overtime one I will stay up for is when and if they are playing for the Stanley Cup. There's no chance I'm going to turn that off. So anyway, this should be a very good series. This goes back quite a bit of years. In 21-22, the Oilers beat the Kings in 7 games. There's the series results. Also, the scoring leaders of that particular year. This was the hardest one that the Oilers had thus far. I thought they were going to have a similar battle last year, but it seemed to be tapered down. The LA Kings seemed to let up as the Edmonton Oilers would defeat the Los Angeles Kings in 6 games in that one. And McDavid slowly getting better and better. And then you look at this year with him with 100 assists. You look at these years, McDavid only had how many? Was it 88? He only had last year. He only had 88 assists only. Like crazy when you think about it. So that is that's the last 2 years. However, again, I do stress it's a different year, 2 different coaches, totally different scenarios. So we'll see what happens going into this series here. And I'm just going to break down the last time the Edmonton Oilers played the Los Angeles Kings was on March 28th as Edmonton Oilers 4-1 winners, man. Like I like the Oilers' chances in this series. I would be shocked if it doesn't go our way. I'll be very upset as well, but stranger things have happened. Cam Talbot should be behind the pipes for most of those games for the LA Kings with a record of 27-20-6, 2.50 goals against average, .913 save percentage, 3 shutouts. So he can stop the puck. And I do miss him as a goaltender, but we got a good one in Stuart Skinner. And at times he's had flashbacks of Grant Fuhr, 36, 16, and 5, 262 goals against average, 905 save percentage, 2 shutouts. As far as the head-to-head aspects go, the Oilers are 4th in goals. The LA Kings are 16th in goals. Shots on goal, Edmonton, 1st in the league. LA, 9th. So LA is not that bad off the pace. Power play, 4th in the league. LA is 11th. Face-off win percentage, Edmonton is 5th. LA is 14th. Shooting percentage, Edmonton is 10th. The Kings are 22nd. So as far as all the offensive stats, Oilers, checkmark, 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 checkmark. They got all the areas going forward. When it comes to defensive structure, a little bit of a different story. LA is 3rd for goals allowed. The Edmonton Oilers are 10th in the league. LA is, for shots on goal allowed, 4th in the league. The Oilers are 5th in the league. When it comes to the penalty minutes, LA is pretty disciplined, 12th in the league. Meanwhile, the Oilers, you switch those numbers around, 21st in the league. And then the penalty kill, LA is 2nd. And the Edmonton Oilers are 15th. So this is a tale of Edmonton Oilers elite offense compared to a very stingent defense for the LA Kings. However, we always got to put the Connor McDavid factor into the equation, and the Leon Draisaitl and the Zach Hyman and the Evander Kane, as we hope that this year with Ekholm and Bouchard and some of the growing pains they've experienced over the years, that they can play a little bit more of a shutdown role and let those boys do their thing. That's what we hope. And go on to the next series, which could very well be, I'm thinking it's going to be against Vancouver, as it is a Pacific Division final, but we'll see. And we hope that it repeats from 2 years ago when they took on the Calgary Flames and beat the Flames and went on to getting swept by the Avs, but that was a different story. Okay, guys, let's move on here. It's interesting. We'll go into your final thoughts. I'm going to wrap this up here pretty quick here, as it's been already I'm already rolling into 41 minutes on this episode. So let's see if you guys have any comments for tonight. And no comments today. So as you can see on the right-hand side of your screen is the schedule for all of the Western Conference series. I don't have enough room to put the Eastern Conference series, but that is your schedule. That'll give you the game breakdown of when the Oilers play. Obviously, their first game is tomorrow night. Can't wait. Pumped. And then I will be on Tuesday watching or doing a episode of the recap of this. And here we go, baby. It's playoff time, man. It is playoff time. So pumped, so jacked. It's so awesome. Anyway, guys, those of you who are with this channel for the very first time, and you like the content that I deliver, feel free to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Smash that like, share, and as all the other guys, smash it. I don't know why they say smash it, but whatever. Just do your thing. But I do appreciate if you guys join in and become a subscriber, as it'll do me good to build up more content for future. Those of you who have been with me through the thick and thin and witnessed my channel since its birth to all the crappy stuff that we had to deal with to where it's at today, thank you. And thank you for staying aboard, because there has been some crappy episodes, especially this year. I wasn't very happy with a lot of episodes. That's why I totally revamped it, and I like what I'm bringing to you guys now. And I hope you guys as well like it. Anyway, let's go, baby. Here we go. Let's go, Oilers. We will catch you on Tuesday with a full recap of the LA Kings, Edmonton Oilers, Game 1, Stanley Cup playoffs.